All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Today we are diving deep into the mind of, well, a pretty complex thinker, Friedrich Nietzsche. Have you heard of him?
Oh, yeah. I think most people have at least heard the name. Maybe not quite sure what he was all about, though. A lot of, how do you say, misconceptions floating around about him.
Yeah, for sure. And today we are tackling one of his most interesting and maybe kind of intimidating ideas, the whole pessimism of strength thing.
Definitely not your typical self-help stuff.
Exactly. Not exactly, like positive vibes only. We were working from this article, by the way, called The Pessimism of Strength and the Path to Greatness. And get this, it basically argues that facing all the crap that life throws at you head on can actually lead to some serious personal growth.
Yeah, like embracing the struggle, not just grinning and bearing it.
So first things first, what does philosophical pessimism even mean? The article lays it out pretty starkly. There's more suffering in life than joy. Sometimes, the bad guys win, and like existence itself has this built-in element of tragedy.
Right, it's not about being a downer or anything, but recognizing that, like, yeah, the world can be a pretty harsh place.
Doesn't sound like the recipe for a happy life, though, does it?
Well, Nietzsche wasn't really interested in, like, sugarcoating reality. He was more about how can we not just survive, but thrive, even when things are tough. And that's where this idea of pessimism being a strength comes in, like using it as a lens to actually see things more clearly.
The article also points out that even Nietzsche himself, the way he thought about all this evolves over time.
Right.
Like early on, he was super into the ancient Greeks. Especially, there was this idea of what they called Dionysian wisdom. It was named after Dionysus, the god of, wine and parties and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, the good times. But ironically, he was also the god of tragedy.
So it's like the ancient Greeks, they just got it. Life is full of these amazing highs, but also these like crushing lows. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly. Think about that myth, the myth of Silenus, this really wise dude, but when he's asked what's the best thing for humans, you know what he says.
What's that?
He says, the best thing is to never have been born at all. And, like, the second best thing is to die quickly.
Whoa. Talk about a bleak outlook.
Yeah.
But Nietzsche was really grappling with those ideas, right? Like he's trying to figure out, okay, if suffering's just part of the deal, how do we actually deal with it?
Totally. And at first he thought the answer was art.
Yeah. He saw art as this way to create beauty, find some kind of solace, and, maybe escape the harsh realities of the world for a little bit.
Remember that famous quote, without music, life would be a mistake. Like, it totally captures that feeling. Art can make things feel, well, less like a mistake.
But then there's a shift, right? Like he doesn't just stay there, content with art just being a distraction.
Exactly. That's key. He realized, as powerful as art is, it's still kind of a temporary escape. Like, true strength comes from confronting the tough stuff, not hiding from it.
Okay, so that's where this pessimism of strength really kicks in. It's about actively embracing suffering, accepting it as, part of the human experience, but not letting it crush you.
It's like saying, yeah, life is hard. Sometimes it's totally unfair. But I'm not going to let it break me. I'm going to use this struggle to actually make myself stronger.
I love that. So then the article goes on to talk about this idea of an organizing idea, like it's this driving force, this purpose in life that helps us, make sense of all those difficult emotions and experiences.
Like a compass. It gives you direction, helps you navigate all the chaos. For Nietzsche, this was super important, this organizing idea, to overcome nihilism, basically meaninglessness, and actually find fulfillment.
So how does this all, translate into our everyday lives? Like we all have struggles, we have those inner conflicts.
Of course. Think about it. We all have ambitions, we have desires. But we also crave solitude, peace, and quiet. We want to be connected to people, but also be independent. These kinds of like internal tensions, these conflicting drives, they're just part of being human.
Yeah, totally. But instead of seeing them as weaknesses, Nietzsche's saying we should embrace that friction, use it to create something powerful.
Yeah. There's that old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But Nietzsche might say, what doesn't kill you has the potential to make you stronger, but only if you harness it in the right way.
So what I'm hearing is this whole pessimism of strength thing, it's not about wallowing in misery. It's not about being, a cynic or whatever. It's about facing reality, acknowledging the hard stuff, but then using that awareness to fuel your growth and, find a deeper meaning.
Absolutely. It's realizing that, suffering and joy, they're two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. And when you embrace both, well, you just unlock this incredible potential for strength and resilience. Now, I want you to think, What are some of those things in your own life, those challenges that you're facing? What would happen if you started viewing them through this lens? What might you discover?
It's a great question, and I think that's a great place to leave it for today. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.
See you then.